Good evening, happy Sunday. Shaggy SoCal 12 for Forza, and time for the new set of track guides for this upcoming season in the number 17 Ford Falcon. What is it? FXG. I never remember exactly what the cars are called in Forza, but it is the Ford Aussie V8 supercar. Famously, it was Scott McLaughlin's 2017 car that he ran in Australia, which is where Australian supercars run. But um, again, standard track guide. I want to go out and run some laps. The couple new, I don't want to say a couple new, the one new wrinkle this season is tire wear has been increased to 5x. We were running 4x in the past couple of seasons. And I think the idea was to try and wear, try and balance out the risk on a one stop versus a two stop. I think the previous seasons, you know, if you ran a two stop strategy, you could make up some of the time on track, that you're spending in the pits, but it was really never enough to overcome someone on a one stop if they were quick and could manage their tires. So I think the 5X, hopefully it'll balance the risk out a little bit. If you want to run a one stop, you're going to have to run past 60%, on both sets of tires. And so you're going to be giving up some time there. That hopefully balances out for the two stops. It might, in some cases, it may make the two stop strategy the viable one, just because it's the safer. Again, it comes back to the safer bet. That was the other thing with the one stoppers previous seasons. There's no risk because you were able to do the race on one stop and never have to go past that 60% cliff as far as the performance of the tires. But so what we're going to do is I'm going to head out here in my car and run a couple of laps, just to kind of refresh my memory on how to get around Indy GP, and then I want to practice with some AI just to see how bad my racecraft is, and we'll go from there. But let me go ahead and get started with the race here. The one other thing I will point out is with the setup that Josh has on this car is a very squirrely back end, as far as the rears wanting to spin up. So for that, it's one of those rare occasions where I think for consistency, I'm going to run Sport TC for the season on this car, and that just it. And I want to adjust my driving style. I want TC to help keep the back end in check. Of course, it's going to bog down a little bit. But I also want to make sure that when it kicks in, it's not kicking in a way that's going to slow me down. So there's Indy GP is actually going to be a good example of where that will happen. This car, the one thing with the back end of this car is the weight transfer laterally left to right, especially going through combinations, can get the back end to step out, and depending on how badly it steps out, TC will kick in and it'll slow you down. So the last corner is actually a good corner to kind of show that. I do the work, use a lot of curving here. That's a little too much there. Use a lot of curving there. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold the throttle. I'm gonna just turn in the car in. I would bog down there because I did an aggressive turn and the back end started to step out and caused the traction control to kick in, and it slowed the car down until it got settled. So you almost, with Sport TC, you want to try and drive as far as throttle. You want to kind of use the throttle as if you don't have traction control on. That makes sense. And that way, when it does kick in, when it has to kick in, the car should be in a good position where you'll get the benefit out of the traction control and not have to worry about slowing you down or having to cut power severely because the back end wants to step out. this time. A little bit better. Second gear comes up quick out of that corner. You might be able to do it in third. Alright, so instead of just mashing the throttle and throwing the car in, let's be a little bit smoother. Do a little confidence lift and roll back into the throttle. A little bit better. But you get the idea. You don't want to be so aggressive with your steering and just holding the throttle down, expecting traction control to keep you stable. It'll actually slow you down. One more here. Turn. There's a couple turns here that always just kind of like, I've never been able to really figure them out. It comes up quick getting on the back stretch. A little bit better. Still working on that one. Okay, so turn one. Again, this is all going to be based off of me, what I'm looking for, because I'm not running the braking line. But sixth gear coming down the front straightaway. For me, braking is going to be, if you're having problems seeing the braking line because you're close behind somebody or like that, the easiest thing to spot to kind of give you at least an initial like, hey, get ready to brake, is the television camera that's on the crane there. It's easy to spot coming down the front straightaway. For me, on soft tires, we'll see how it is on the other two. I'll be braking just past that crane at about the 150 board. That seems to be reliable enough for me to get onto the brakes, get the car slowed down to second gear, turn the car in. Again, you can just like kind of just look at the kind of the tire wear on the pavement, that you can cut a lot of this curb without getting a time penalty. And the more you're able to do that, then it opens up the next part of the corner, the left-hander here, to get through. Let the car come out to the right. This is the corner I have the most trouble with, because there's no easy references anymore for me to see what I need to do. I kind of try to go off of the building here on the right with the spectators there, so I have to relearn this. So let me get lined back up here again. So on throttle, come off the curbing. About when that goes out of view, somewhere in here, I think the paranoid part for me is it's very easy to miss your braking because you're kind of pointed out towards the outside of the track to brake for the next corner. And if you get it wrong, it's kind of easy to let the car go too wide and out into the gravel. So I don't know. I'll probably play around the line here in the practice race of, do I let the car come out sooner so I'm a little bit more, parallel with the outside curbing for braking. The line that we tend to take is we tend to kind of take a diagonal across the track braking to then turn the rest of the way. I don't know what the best way is for this car yet. So I'm still coming to grips with that one. We'll see how I do in the practice race. But if you do it right, second gear, third gear, get through this curve here, roll back on the throttle. Try and give yourself a little bit of room to the left side, because you want to, I find the chicane here is a bit easier if you can bring the car back a bit towards the middle of the track. It'll make the chicane here onto the back straightaway a lot easier to navigate. But third gear here, and I'm going to try and go straight as I can across the curbing. You'll need, if you're in third at this point, you're probably going to need to short shift to fourth, or you'll bang the rev limiter as you go over the second curbing if you got a good exit. Let the car come out all the way to the left side. start bringing it back over to the right. With gear. Braking from the next corner on the backside of chicane here is the 150 board, or the easy reference is hello. The easy reference, at least for me, is the 150 will be easy to spot, but it's also where the curving starts. So I'll be braking here about the 150 board. Brake down to second. Again, the cones tell us we're not taking the shortcut. We're not taking the other left-hander. It is the much sharper left-hander into the left-right chicanes. You can use a bit of curbing here. This one, these next series of corners, depending on how you want to carry the speed, second or third gear, or a combination. Maybe second early, but then maybe getting up to third for the last part of it. I'll leave that to driver preference. But this is one of those things where I get on my soapbox about let the car do the work. Let the car do the work. The smoother you are through here, especially trying to manage the back end of the car of it wanting to step out a little bit, it's really not a lot of braking's needed. It's just off and on the throttle. Let the car do the work, bring it back over. You can use a bit of curbing here. It'll bounce it a little bit. Be careful. Still middle of the track, turn in. You can use a lot of this curbing here. And roll back into the throttle, second gear. If you're in second, you'll need to get to third quick. It'll come up quick. Third, fourth. Last couple of corners when you come back out into the short chute between 1 and 2. Braking for me is I'm aiming to get the car to the outside wall about halfway between the 150 and the 100 board. And that seems, at least the soft tires right now, that seems to be about where I need to brake to get the car in. That's an extreme angle to get there. But, maybe on the soft tires, when I get into rhythm, I can brake a little closer to the 100 board, but then a little further away. About halfway in between is a good place to just kind of start, and then just figure out what works best for you. Down to second gear. This one I want to be able to, and again you saw in the demo laps, I want to use as much of that inside curve as I can. Gets the car mostly to the middle. I'll brake just as the cones or the curb starts here on the inside on the left side. Do a little bit of braking. And I'm probably out a little wider than what the game, at least what I'm seeing on the pavement, suggests. So this is what I'm doing right now. We'll see how it evolves as I get into rhythm and get comfortable. But we'll roll in. Apex is pretty much where everybody's kicking up dirt, and that probably even tells you could probably get across that one a little bit without getting a time penalty, but I'll probably just be on the curbing. And the timing for this last one, I'll play around with the line here. I've been trying to do like setting the middle and late apexing it out. I'll try the inside line. The hard part with this one is as you go into this corner, if you hold the foot to the floor with traction control on, as you go into the corner and the weight, let's see, yeah. So as you start making the right-hand turn and the weight shifts suddenly to the left side, it's enough that the back of the car will start to step out, and then TC kicks in to it's almost like a pseudo stability control. It's going to kick in because the rear tires are going to start to spin up as well, and it's trying to control and keep the tires from spinning. It'll bog the car down a little bit. So what I'm going to be trying to do through here is I want to try and be as smooth as I can on the turn in, but it means I'll probably do a little bit of a confidence lift on that turn in until the weight gets set, and then I can roll back in the throttle. Then the traction control kicks in, the back of the car is set, and I won't have to worry about it having to keep the rear tires from spinning and also keep the back end from sliding. So that'll, I think, will give me a better exit, maximizing the benefit of having traction control. Because again, you want it to help you get you out of the corners, but you don't want it being your stability control at the same time. So anyhow, that's so again, what I'll try and do is I'll try and roll it in, be smooth on the throttle, look for a late apex. I might even bring it out here, put the grass on the outside, back onto the front straightaway. So it's a line I'll be playing with as well. But then you're back on the front straightaway. It's a lap to Indy GP. I think it's a good track. For the tracks this week, both of them actually. I think our second racetrack is also a really good track to start the season off in, where you get enough of a technical challenge here. Then the Grand Oak is also, smooth enough, and as far as it's graceful enough, there's a good word, where I think we'll get a good handle on what this car likes and doesn't like as we move into some of the more challenging circuits of the season. Surely. So anyhow, but I'm gonna get it here. I need to practice, so I'm gonna get out of the test session here. I'm gonna pause the stream for the bitrate issues, and then and come back and do a mock race with what I think the race length might be, and that'll also talk a little about tire strategy. So I'll be right back. Okay, let me reset the mic. Okay, we're going the Falcon. Indy GP. Nope, we're going to do a circuit race. Number of laps. I'm guesstimating. So 23. It might be a lap less. It depends on what time Matt uses to do the calculation. So I'm guessing 23, but it's gonna. I'm within a lap of what it'll be. We'll go random tie today. Rolling 4x or times 4 on the progression. We'll go random on the weather, but if it rains, I'm gonna re-roll. I think he turns dynamic track rubber on. All the driver tire 23 cars. I want to make sure everybody is in the same car. That's fine. And let's just go make sure sport rules. Again, change for the season. We are hello. Oh, it is fuel and tires only. Sorry, I was looking at the grayed out fuel and tires only. Going, yeah, it's been a while. So we're going to do times 5 on the tire wear. So that is going to make tire strategy a little bit different this season. Standing start, we'll go random, and 1 mandatory pit stop, and no grip, something like that. Okay, I think that'll do it. All right. So my initial read, I ran laps on the soft tire. Well, let's see. Before I get into this, let's have the nice lady tell us about the Indy GP.
The Indy Grand Prix circuit is almost entirely flat, so always keep your eyes focused far down the track, because passing opportunities will happen in some unexpected places.
Yep, all true. So what do we got here? Looks like we're going to do a little night racing. Thunderclouds at noon. Okay, so kind of night, but not night. So initial read on the tire strategy. I ran laps on the softs until I hit 60%, and it was towards the end of lap 5. So what I'm going to be testing out here is generally the formula is for again 5 lap estimate on the softs, which means hards will probably go to about 10 laps, and then mediums are going to be somewhere in between, so maybe like 7.5 to 8, depending on how you drive. If this race is 23 laps, then I would say that 2-stop is probably the preferred strategy, because even if trying to do a 1-stopper to get 23 laps, it means I'm doing, well, let's see, there's no easy way to do it, because to do it in 2 stops on, let's say, hard mediums, again, let's say be generous to say 18 and 10, 18, so well 18 and 10, 8 and 10, 18, that's still 5 laps short. Yeah, Indy's pretty abrasive, so I think the 2-stop strategy is the way to go. How you divide that 2 stops is up to you. I think in this case, 5, 8, let's say 5, 8, 10, 18, 5, 18, that's 23 laps. So you might be able to run one compound, one stint on each compound and get to the end of the race, no problem. If you're a little more aggressive on your tires, you might have to go, let's say, like a hard, hard, soft, or maybe you need to do hard, medium. So that'll be up to you. And I think that's where maybe some of the strategies play in. But typically, the metagame will always be, choosing the tires that is, going to get you on the softest rubber for for as much of the race as possible. So to that end, I would say hard, medium, soft is probably preferred, because I don't think you can do, you can't do medium, soft, or you're going to do medium, soft, and then that's 3 pit stops. So anyhow, this is the fun part, new challenges. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to typically fuel load. I don't like messing with the fuel. I know I'm probably giving up a few tenths a lap on fuel weight, but then that's really kind of that'll only impact me mostly at the beginning of the race. Once I get to the final laps, it'll balance out, or at least I'll be, and that's usually why I will probably start hard, medium, soft, and put myself on the softest tire, with the lightest fuel load. But so again, 68%, that should be about it. We'll start the hards. We'll see how long they last, and let's get going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go long. Oh, launching this car. The traction control, it's going to be hit or miss. So we'll have to see how that plays out. So if you're starting, if you're not in front of the bucket, or even if you are, just be careful of, someone bogging down at the start. Because TC decided to be a pain in the butt. Oh, well, if you're going to make it that easy for me. Bump. Do the work. Wow. Hit me. Treacherous back here. No prisoners from the drive tires. Again, for me, at least how I drive, I have my wheel set. You can tell a lot of these corners are really not going a little past 45 degrees. I'm not trying to wrench, all the way over to 90 and keep the tires up. I'm not doing something like this, where I hit the front tires up and then just put a little extra wear in them. usually means I'm probably going to be braking a little bit earlier as I miss shifts getting onto the front straightaway. That's the other thing the back of the car likes to do too. As you come out of the corner, the car still may, if you don't get the wheel unwound, it may start to walk back across the track on corner exit. I'll figure that turn out eventually. Draft here. See how good it is. I'm going long. I need to brake a little bit harder through there. Misjudged that. Do a tire check at the end of this lap. That corner too, that initial half of that right-hander, you're gonna, the track TC is gonna kick in because the rear tire is going to start to spin up under the lateral lug, and so I want to prevent that if I can, just easing up the throttle a little bit, because again, I want TC to kick in to keep the tires in check when the car is mostly straight. I don't want it kicking in to keep to act as kind of a pseudo stability control, because the back end's starting to step out because the new tires are spinning up. A little bit better. I think just from a weight transfer, I think now that I've done a couple of laps, I think coming out of that sharp left-hander. What are we talking about when we get back there again? Where are we at? Oh yeah. Saw 30 on that left front. we're only gonna get 10 good laps out of the hard tires. I think I'm turning in a little early there. Instead of trying to bring the car back left and have the full weight transfers, just hold it there, lift a little bit, then right back on the throttle. And for the lights there a little bit better. Somebody smoking in the stands. Lots of people smoking in the stands. Starting to get a little soft in the pedal there. You can start, with the track rubbering, you can see how dark the pavement's getting there in the short chute, where everybody's braking. Yeah, I'm just doing a little confidence lift there, just, again, to help keep the back end in check so that TC's not kicking in when I don't want it to and bogging the car down. Attention to is, I think, unlike previous seasons where we're always looking at the fronts as far as gauging wear, really need to look at the rears as well. That's why I hate that turn. Get a good line through there. I can't figure that one out. Minor. That's going to cost me. Oh, no. Okay, thank you. I'll probably get just hit with a really big one later for ticky-tack track limits. How you doing? Okay, 53. Late there because I was paying attention to tires when I should have been paying attention to braking markers. It's going to cost me another spot. We're going to hit this lap anyway. It's that 50%. Tires don't want to stop the car. Okay, pit lane, Indy GP. All the way out, keep it on the outside. It'll catch you right about the pit wall. Yep. Okay, so that was 10 laps. Laps on the hards. I don't know that I would want to try 11, but we're going to go to the mediums. Skip, I'm going to take fuel. So we'll check the mediums about the end of lap 14 and see if they're in about the same kind of 30%. Try and get 8 laps out of them. Okay, and the question is, we get 2 shots at this, so where do we have to brake? Second gear, third gear. Yeah, if you kind of brake at the end of the blend line on the pit lane, that should, allow you to get kind of settled into the corner. Turn. A little bit of braking. Again, I can't talk and drive at the same time. Might be able to finally make a pass. What was that for? And I get the warning. Look around this here when in the pits. It looks like it's probably on tires, just based on how quickly we're able to overhaul it. Don't hit me. The draft here. Close enough to make an attempt, mind you, but play my cards right, maybe I get a run down the back straight. At the end of the curve is where I think I need to brake at. The end of the inside curve on the right side. Try to keep the car in the middle of the track. It's so much in try-hard mode, I didn't check tires at the end of lap 4, but I think we can get 8. As long as I don't do anything stupid. Better run onto the back straight here. The Holman straight, I believe is what it's called. Like the nose is starting to push a little bit, getting back onto the short chute. Just did a little bit of a lift there. What I want you guys to start to do, race each other. Here's Weiner. So yeah, I think we can get 8 laps on him. Good run. See if we can get past him. Hit me! What are you doing? Eight laps, you're going to run over a move. You're going to run into 60% of the last half of the lap, but again, if it's a 23 lap race, you're probably going to have to. If I was going to run long on a set of tires, yeah, I might try the hards, but let's see, we'll probably hit 60% as we get back. Nope, we hit 60% right now. So it's a corner sooner than I expected. Expecting to hit 60% about here. Okay, so let's go ahead and pit. And we will go to the softs. Excuse me, that was rude. I don't think I'm going to catch Filthy Flocka. The question is, back in 23rd, for sake of just having some competitiveness, I may just mandate 2 stops. We'll see. So yeah, I think using the inside curbing here where it ends. A good reference. The funny thing is like now that the track's starting to rubber in, I can see where the AI would have been running. And that's kind of become my pseudo braking line. I like taking this one a little wider though. was expecting the car to have just that smidgen more rev rage.
One more lap.
There's a tire wear thing here. I mean, when I ran kind of test laps without track rubbering, 50% fuel, I only got about 5 laps on the softs. But here, towards the end of the race, slightly different weather conditions, but definitely with track rubbering on and a lighter fuel load, and probably me being a bit better about where I need to put the car. I'm only getting minor tire wear now at the end of lap 5. So, could you push a 6th lap? Maybe. I got a little more life out of it in these 5 laps than I did previously. And that is Indy GP. Finished 21st. Number 21 car finishes in the 21st position. That's kind of fitting. So yeah, 35-21. Again, I don't, add in bucket delays as well. I would assume that, if I take another, 70, 80 seconds on that for, group 4, 23 laps, it's in the ballpark. So, looks to be a 3-stop strategy and probably one of each compound. So then it'll be up to you to decide, when you run which compound. But should make for an just the tire dag change should make strategies a little more interesting, or at least put the 2-stopper being the preferred strategy. So with that, I'm gonna take a break for a bit. I'll come back, and the next circuit for this coming Thursday is Grand Oak. I forget the exact. I think it's like Club Reverse, or one of the shorter ones. We haven't run there yet in the game, so I'll be back in a little bit. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Happy racing.